folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you again from DEADPIT.com. We got another cool one for you guys this week from 1982, director Scott Mansfield, Deadly Games. In the early 80s, there were so many slasher movies. Still to this day, there are ones that I'm checking out on Blu-ray, and I'm checking them out for the very first time. Deadly Games is one of those. I had never seen this movie before. I did recall seeing the videotape in the store back in the day, but it's one that I never did rent. Arrow Video is bringing this out for the very first time in HD for all of us to enjoy. Deadly Games opening scene starts off a young lady coming home for the night. It's late at night. For some reason, she decides to undress outside and show off some of her assets, if you will. I'm thinking that her boyfriend stood her up for the night, didn't show up right, and all of a sudden, we get this figure in black. It's kind of like a point of view type deal, very reminiscent to the opening scene in Halloween. He's got a black ski mask on, black leather jacket and gloves. And the girl has her untimely demise, and that kicks off Deadly Games. Then we go to the next day. There's the lead detective that's one of the main stars in the movie, by the name of Roger, who is played by Sam Groom, who looks an awful lot like Huey Lewis.
Hey, bud, nice to see you.
He is met by the young and the beautiful Keegan, who is played by Joanne Harris. She is the sister of the victim, and funny thing is she's not upset about it at all, really. It's like, kind of flirting with the detective almost from the first day, and those two kind of have an affair going on throughout the movie. There's a lot of flirtatious vibes between those two, and we do find out as the movie goes along that Roger, the detective, is kind of, the playboy of the town. He's got a lot of different women. He's the apple of a lot of different women's eye, baby. As the movie goes along, you learn a little bit more about Roger. He is close friends with Billy, a projectionist from the local movie theater. Those two have an infatuation with board games and horror movies, classic horror movies from the golden era. They have a weird relationship as well, a brotherly relationship. More murders start happening around the town. There's a lot of red herrings thrown out, possible suspects, and we kind of go from there. I don't want to give it away for those that have not seen this. A couple other things that's kind of fun about this movie too. Special appearances from June Lockhart from Lost in Space and Lassie, and football legend Dick Butkus is briefly in this movie. I was like, that guy looks an awful lot like Dick Butkus. And I looked on IMDb, pulled it up, and sure enough, Dickie B, he was in there. Very strange. June Lockhart's scene is like one scene, 2 minutes maybe of the movie, 2 or 3 minutes of the movie. This is a weird movie, man. This is not, it does have some slasher elements to it as well. No doubt, some slashing is going on in this. The majority of this movie is like a drama, almost like a TV drama type deal. Very much reminded me of like the ABC movie of the week or something. That's kind of how it was made. Some of the selling points from some of the promo material is this was a video store rental classic for fans of Prom Night, Maniac, and The Prowler. Maniac it is not. I would say it's very, Prom Night, it's kind of a little bit like Prom Night. There is a lot more slashing that goes on in Prom Night than this movie. This movie's very talky. It seems like it lasts way too long. That being said, there is some good stuff in this movie. The opening scene in this movie is great. I loved it. I was hooked from that opening scene. The film is 95 minutes long. I gotta say, most of that is filler, to be honest with you. The movie's definitely not perfect, but at the same time, if you're a slasher completist like me, you'll want to pick up Deadly Games. It is a part of that never-ending list of early 80s slasher films. This was a film that I believe had a very brief run in theaters and was mainly a hit in home video market. Arrow Video, man, they did a bang-up job with this release. Limited edition slipcase.
I get the slipcase out.
And here is the commissioned new artwork. Also, for fans of the original video art, that is included on here. Most everybody that's a child of the 80s will remember that artwork there. It was in every video store that I can ever recall back in the day. For some reason, this was a movie that I never did watch, though. As far as this Arrow release here, you have a brand new 2K restoration from the original camera negatives, DTS HD master audio track on this. You have a brand new audio commentary with a Hysteria Continues podcast, people. Sudi's a brand new interview with actor Jerry Ray Mansfield, who played Roger's wife in this movie. This is another interesting thing I want to mention real quick about Deadly Games. A lot of the slasher movies in the early 80s, it was kind of like teen slasher movies. This movie is mainly almost like an adult slasher film, kind of horror film. I don't want to overstate the slashing because there's not a whole lot of slashing that goes on in this. But they had an interview with her, I think about a 24-minute interview with her. Still a very beautiful lady for an older lady. A brand new interview with special effects and stunt coordinator John Eggert. Image galleries. There's a screenplay on this if you've got a BD-ROM drive and you want to reenact some of your favorite scenes in Deadly Games. It's on there. Original trailer, all kinds of stuff. Open it up in true Arrow fashion. You got the disc here, a little booklet with some artwork, and they talk about the making of Deadly Games. It's about a 26 page booklet that's included on there. So another out-of-the-park home run from Arrow Video. They did send a teaser that promotes possibly an upcoming Blu-ray disc of Hell High. Deadly Games, a bang-up release from Arrow Video. Lots of special features. The transfer on this, the 2K remaster, looks great. Great sound. It's just for completists, though. If you're a slasher fan from that era, you want to own it in your collection, I would recommend getting it. If you want to support Arrow, which I'm always recommend, pick it up. Great addition here. This one's Deadly Games. It just recently came out from Arrow Video. Check it out and continue to check us out over at DEADPIT.com. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.